guys remember Serena burning down her house? It turns out there was a lot of work behind the scenes in order for viewers to see such a realistic scene. But how exactly was it done? Here are some improvised moments you thought were real. Let's start off with Fred's funeral. The Handmaid's Tale Season 5 started off pretty intense, and we do not doubt that the rest of the episodes will deliver some of the most unforgettable scenes in the entire show. Executive producers Bruce Miller and Warren Littlefield decided to talk about the scene in an interview with TV Line, and they share many surprising details about it. The series is an adaptation of the 1985 Margaret Atwood dystopian novel of the same name. The first season premiered way back in April 2017, and throughout the years, the show managed to capture the attention of more and more fans who watch in disbelief, as some of the events of the series are really similar to what we're experiencing in 2022. The show features a dystopian world where fertility rates have declined. The show focuses on the protagonist June. June is a handmaiden given to Serena Joy and Commander Waterford. In the second installment, we are seeing the much-anticipated war between these two women, as the protagonist tries to destroy Gilead once and for all. Following the much-satisfying Season 4 finale, as you clearly remember, June killed Commander Waterford at the end of Season 4, with the help of some fellow handmaids. And now, Serena organized a funeral for her beloved husband. June and her husband Luke are seeing the event via a televised broadcast. While watching, Serena receives a white bouquet from a young girl. Viewers, along with June and Luke, recognize this young girl as their daughter Hannah. This scene is the moment in which Serena receives her power back. Executive producer Warren Littlefield and showrunner EP Bruce Miller talked about this scene and the influence of this scene on the upcoming episodes of the show. Littlefield confirmed that this sequence represents Serena stepping in and getting on the throne. Their complicated relationship is going to be full of animosity going forward, but Littlefield notes there is still, quote, this fascinating respect that comes into play. We talked a lot about the final, and we have a number of takes, but that final image through that black veil of Serena Joy and just how much that mouth curves into the slightest smile, yes, she wants to honor Fred, but this is Serena Joy's stepping in and getting on the throne. And she's masterful. She's powerful. She's a great chess player. The creators of the series then said, "You need to smash that like button if you haven't done it already." Interestingly enough, the funeral scene was inspired by John F. Kennedy's 1963 funeral. At least that's what showrunner Bruce Miller told Insider. In the same interview, the executive producer said that on the day of filming, quote, the world was cold and gray, and so they used that, adding a bit of snow via special effects. For those not familiar, it was raining on the day of John F. Kennedy's funeral. What do you guys think of this scene now? Let us know before we get into some details regarding the double handmaids you're seeing on screen. All of the special effects done in the series are a work of the incredibly talented studio Mavericks VFX. These guys are so good that you don't even realize there are special effects used for The Handmaid's Tale. For Season 3's household episode of The Handmaid's Tale, Mavericks VFX did an amazing job turning the Washington Monument area into a Gilead cross. Since the scene required a lot of handmaids, the creators decided to use digi-doubles. In an interview with Befores and Afters, Mavericks VFX visual effects supervisor Leo Bovell decided to explain the process of adding so many handmaids into one sequence. According to him, the most difficult challenge was putting so many digi-double handmaids. Quote, in total, we had approximately 22,000 plus digi-doubles, large CGI banners, and flags. But they had to work really hard in order to capture all those details on the handmaids, their costumes, and so on. Quote, I took a lot of on-set references of the handmaids to capture the details of the cloth interaction, how the cloth compressed and folded when the actress kneeled, how the wind would ruffle the gown, and more. All of these references were then passed to the CG team. No wonder these people have won so many awards thanks to their incredible CGI skills.
Hear our prayer.
Now, let's talk about the fire scene, shall we? There was a lot of work put into this scene, as Maverick's visual effects supervisor Brendan Taylor told VFX Voice. The producers of the show were really concerned that CGI fire won't look real enough, and then he gave them an idea. His idea was that they should design the scene in a series of lock-offs, and then they shoot the actors on the set with interactive fire lights on them. Quote, "Then we'll come back, set the camera position up again on the stage, and then burn it down. Because all the interior shots were set on stages, we were actually able to burn it down, because we were never going back there. This means that the studio first filmed the actors on one set and then brought them to the scene of the fire via CGI. Taylor also said that there was an option to film the actors against blue or green screen, but that didn't seem like a good option, at least back then. According to Taylor, blue screen concerned him because this way he, quote, was getting the interactive light far enough away from them. As he explained, the fire was about 15 to 20 feet away, and they had some flame bars set up there. We couldn't really position a blue screen in such a way that the interactive fire was not flickering all over the screen. We were too concerned about doing roto. And a lot of the time, you can really tell when it's a blue screen. And I felt like having the interactive fire at the distance that the real fire was would help for the believability. For those wondering, the show started filming in Toronto way back in 2016, and they've been using this location ever since. Interestingly enough, Margaret Atwood, the author of the book the show is based on, is involved with the series, mostly talking with the producers about concepts and suggestions. She is occasionally seen with the cast and crew in Toronto.
Come on.
Filming for the series has taken place across the GTA from Cambridge to Newmarket, to the streets of downtown Toronto. In a recent shot, Yvonne Strahovski was seen crowded among people with a baby in hand. Elisabeth Moss was also seen in the city running on Queen West Street. She said, "You need to smash that subscribe button and notification bell so you'll never miss any of our videos in the future." But seriously, locals are quite happy when they see the cast and the crew working on the new episodes. See you in the next video!